Introducing the Paddy Power World Darts Championships.
Welcome back to Online Darts, everyone. We're here for the Toto Dart Kings Media Day. We've got the world champion Luke Humphries. Luke, this is a bit different. Nice to be invited to something like this.
Yeah, it's a bit different. It's kind of a real privilege for the Toto Dart Kings to invite the world champion here. It's very, very nice of them, and it's always a pleasure to be a part of events like this, and in the build up to the world championships.
It's been a whirlwind media ride for you in the last few days in the build up to the world championships. Are you starting to feel it a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of starting to feel the specialness of the world just coming. You can feel it, and you don't usually do all this media unless something big's happening. So I kind of know that the worlds are coming very close, and done lots of exhibitions now. I've feel in great form. I've won the last two as well. Quite a good level, so it's been a good couple of weeks.
Yeah, that event in Helsinki looked incredible, and a real region that perhaps we could see more darts in.
Oh, I'm sure that we'll see a lot more darts there now. I think there was just over 4,000 people there. Amazing atmosphere, great fans. So it's pretty clear that the Nordic region is starting to grow into the world of darts, and I think we're going to see a massive influx of exhibitions and tournaments over there in the future. That's for sure. I think we're already in talks to go back already. So it's great for the game that we're sort of growing the sport in that region now as well.
But the draw's been done. So last time we spoke to you was the World Championship Media Day pre-draw. Now it's all been done. Is it all full focus on the darts now?
Yeah, it's preparation now, basically just for the World Championships, and there's exhibitions still to be done that I'm in, and it keeps me sharp. I think it's a good thing that I'm doing them. I think. If I'm constantly keep playing, I'm interested. If I'm having 10, 15 days off before the World Championship, I kind of will maybe be a bit lazy. So I'm happy that I'm doing these exhibitions. They'll keep me sharp, and once I get the 5-6 days off before I actually go to the Worlds, I'll make sure I continue on the practice board. I think me and Steve Bunting can have a few practice sessions together as well, which would be good for us both.
Upstairs earlier with the press conference you did with the rest of the Toto Dart Kings, Michael's face was a bit of a picture when even the Dutch media were saying that Luke Humphries is favourite when you're sat next to him. I don't think he's quite experienced that before.
No, I don't think he has. Usually, maybe even last year, it was a close between me and him because I was only just winning a couple of major tournaments and it was still relatively new. But a whole year of another great, whole year of me doing really well again has kind of cemented my place as being one of the favourites in the sport in the most tournaments that I play in. And I think Michael knows that himself, but he also knows that when he's at his best, he can be anybody. So the thing with Michael's game at the moment, I think, is that he's inconsistent. He has a really high level, and then he kind of drops off. If he finds that high level at a consistent level, yeah, you can see the real Michael van Gerwen.
Is it a danger, and would people be foolish to write him off at the World Championships?
You'd be foolish to write off any previous world champion because they know how to do it. And I think Michael would be at the top of that list of former world champions that you'd fancy doing well. And I wouldn't say he's in a favourable half because he's still got some tough games to win. But me and Luke and Mike De Decker and Stephen Bunting, all these people that are in good form are not in his half. So for me, I think the real tough task for him is Gary Anderson. I feel like if they do meet, whoever wins that would probably likely be the finalist, but anything can happen in darts, so you can't expect that's going to be the way. It's likely though that whoever wins that game will go on to make the final.
You touched on Gary Anderson, and the rejuvenation of his game has been incredible. He pushed Littler at the slam to literally a one-leg shootout, and his Pro Tour averages, Euro Tour averages have been insane. Did you ever think we'd see Gary Anderson do this again? Because it looked as if he was just dwindling out at one point. He was happy just to do it, but all of a sudden it's like someone just flicked a switch in him.
I feel like he's enjoying the game. I think maybe a couple of years ago when he was playing all the things he usually does, he probably lost a lot of love for the game, and maybe that was why his performances wasn't what we'd expect from Gary. But you see him now; he's much more happier. He's playing in what he wants, and he's enjoying it. So I think that makes a player dangerous, but of the calibre of Gary Anderson, it makes him even more dangerous. Stats-wise, performances-wise, he's up there, probably the best. Standard, he's the highest averager of all of me, Luke, Michael, and himself. So, but we play a lot more tournaments. It's kind of harder to maintain that level. But I'd love to just see Gary maybe do one more Premier League. Just give it one more go. I think it would just be quite an elite Premier League if I could play with him in it. I know he doesn't like all the travelling, it's hard, and he doesn't need to do it. But I just feel there's maybe that one more opportunity for him to just say, do you know what? I might give it one more go, and you know, if he wins it, he could still say I'm never doing it the year after. But I think the way the sport is, I'd just love to, you know, see Gary give it one more go, and you know, I think we could have a really good Premier League next year if he was in it.
Everyone's talking about the youngsters coming through, including yourself, and rightfully so. But is darts a better place when Gary Anderson is in this mood?
Oh, by far. It's a better place when you've got great players playing well. But when you've got, you know, the legends of the game, I know that sounds cliche, but he is a legend in my eyes. Whenever he does stop playing, he'll always be in the legacy of one of the best players that's ever lived. You know, so when you've got players like that in any tournament, it's always going to be a boost. But like I said, if he put himself in the Premier League, I think it would make it more elite, and I think a lot more people would tune in. And yeah, I think it'd be good for the sport. But it is great for the sport that Gary's still playing, and the way he's playing at the moment, there's nothing to say if he wanted to, he could play another good 5 years at this level.
It's been a remarkable year for yourself, and I think we have to remember as well that, I don't mean this horribly, but this is almost like your first full year on tour. Yeah. And what I mean is that full Premier League, full World Series and everything. How have you found it?
Yeah, I found it incredibly tough for, you know, the amount of time you're away and how long you have to you know, be away from home and how much darts you play, but it's only going to get busier. And you kind of have to pick and choose what you're playing. For me, I try to like prioritise the major tournaments and then European tournaments more than I do the Players' Championships. You know, obviously you see me play about half last year. You know, next year it'd probably be the same, to be honest. You know, you just can't physically play in everything, otherwise you will burn yourself out. And you know, for me, it's something that you have to manage before you actually even look at the calendar. So. Yeah, I think I'll be sort of doing the same as I did this year. Maybe even a little bit less. But yeah, I feel in good shape, feel fit, feel healthy, and you know, I feel really prepared for the World Championships this year as well, even more than I did last year.
Well, World Championships is going to 128 next year, as Barry told the world live on the radio. Are you excited for that? Do you think darts is ready for a bigger World Championships?
Yeah, I think it's a great thing. I think that just shows where the sport's going. It's growing, it's getting bigger, it's getting better. And, you know, I got asked this question earlier by someone in the media. He said, you know, are you going to leave Ali Pali, and, you know, is it good for the sport? And I kind of said, you know, it's supply and demand. There's like 500,000 to 1 million people wanting tickets to the Worlds, but only 125,000 to give. You know, and if that carries on, you're going to have so much demand with no supply. So I think it's important that you add more dates, and may have to look at a new venue another day for one, you know, maybe in a couple of years for a World Championships, because you know, Ali Pali doesn't hold as much as people think. It's only like 3,500 people. So, but it'd be such a sad thing to see it go, because it's quite iconic, and you know, Winter Gardens will always be the one for me that's the most iconic, my favourite venue. But yeah, the Ali Pali is very special, so it'd be very sad if we do see it go.
Obviously, you hold the World Championship currently, hold the match play. Is 2025 is the Premier League the big one you want to complete the big three?
Yeah, I mean, it would be one that I'd love to win. It's kind of the biggest one that I've not got yet. I'd love to complete the set in, you know, the European Championships, the UK Open, and now the Masters, because it's ranked. But Premier League would be the goal for definitely next year. I think I said the goal for this year was World Match Play in the World Cup, and I kind of did that. So let's set the target of Premier League champion next year. But I think it's going to be really, really tough again, because if we have all the players in that's going to be in, there's a lot of players in form. You know, we could see it even tougher than last year. You know, Rob and Gesley and Peter wasn't on it, and just allowed me, Luke and Michael to sort of almost be qualified before there was 2 or 3 nights remaining. So if you get a closely contested Premier League, then I feel like it'd be a lot more tighter.
Luke, absolute pleasure catching up with you, Holland, buddy.
Thank you very much. Cheers.